Aftermath is the name of this spot. Yo, 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 yo. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? How's it going, everybody? Sam and Tommy here. White Trash Motorsports. As usual, we figured we'd pop in tonight. We told everybody, that we was going to do a live. As we get started here, let me just pop in here and drop a link. That way anybody can, if there's people out there who want to join in, they can join in. Comment. Let me get a link up here, fellas. Anybody that wants to join in, they will be welcome to. As soon as I get this thing to work. Paste. Chat. What is it? Oh, I can block user on myself. Why didn't it go? Why does it say StreamYard? Check, check, check. How is it going? Say what's happening, Tommy. I see you sneaking out of there. What are you doing? Normally we're in the shop, but tonight we had to come in the house because, Pennsylvania, because we left Missouri the other day and it was 75 degrees out, and we're here in Pennsylvania and it's about 45 degrees out, so we're cold. Was sunburnt. We had a great time at the No Name Nationals. We want to thank, hey Dakota, what's happening, buddy? I'm trying to get a link up here so people can pop in. Copy. But yeah, let's get this going on here. How you been, Dakota? Thanks for popping in, brother man. The Firebird Trans Am looks great, man. I seen the video. That thing sounds mean. It's rowdy. I can't wait to see you get it out. But first of all, we want to thank John. Dixie Go, you're knocking it over with your tail. We want to thank John Wilburn. We want to thank Dallas Brown. And of course, we want to thank Buzz of Roadkill Customs, also Destroyer1320.com. Thank you guys for putting on a great event. We had fun. Tommy, did you have fun?
Yeah, I had to make a pass.
Okay, how would you qualify your fun you had?
What do you mean?
As compared to all the other stuff that we've done so far, how would you compare?
We didn't do a lot, so I don't think it's.
We went to DC. We've been to tracks and stuff. How was your weekend? How does it compare to like everything else you've done in life so far?
I haven't really done anything like that.
Yeah, well, so it would be safe to say that was probably the best weekend you could have, right? So far. Okay, so see, Tommy had the best weekend of his life. He's real happy with it. I'm happy with it because Tommy got to go. Tommy got to make a pass. I'm sure a few people knew. You know what they say. It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to, ask for permission. So in that, I seen the short posted. He was against mostly Old Parts and Rust, who has a really fast car. But if you wondered why it looked like Tommy was sleeping off of the line, that's why. There you go, Titan. Luckily, you tighten down. Never tighten the dry shut down and fell out. Went too far. Okay. You're having trouble finding the right U joint. That's not good, brother man. Why is that? But yeah, I've done that. Don't feel bad. I've been excited to get him running and jumped in him and tore off down the road. Forgot stuff too. We was broke down one time on I-77 coming back from North Carolina, and I had a brand new 150 piece Craftsman tool set that we got out on the side of the road to work on the car, and I left that tool set open, of course, on the roof of a '78 Pontiac Grand Prix. As we pulled out, proceeded to lose my tools all over 77. So don't fret it, Dakota. We've all been there, man. We've all made mistakes. It happens. At least nothing's too bad damage is able to get it home, and I'm sure you'll find a U-joint that'll work. But yeah, I mean, the show was amazing. It was crazy for us. It ended up being just under 1,400 miles for us round trip. It was like 1,390. By the time we got back home, we wanted to stay. Who raced Jezebel? Oh, I know a lot of people race Jezebel. We got a lot of footage of racing that we've been slowly going through. We're going to start putting some videos up. Jezebel did though have an issue because he had a flat on one of his front runners, and unfortunately it blew the tube out. So I don't think it was running to what it should because he had just a regular tire on the front. But Jezebel is nice. I mean, a lot of these cars, all of these cars, really are just so much amazing in person. I mean, the Holy Goat, words can't describe that car in person. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy the amount of bullet holes in that car. Yeah, Dakota, you're gonna do more embarrassing stuff than that in life, man. You're young yet. Wait till the real embarrassing. Wait till you go to do a burnout in front of a bunch of people and you break something. That's always fun. Especially when you gotta then push the car off the road after you just had a crowd of people standing there cheering you on. That's embarrassing. That or when you go to do a big burnout or tear off. I do remember one time like that. I was arguing with somebody. I backed out of their driveway and I was in a 79 Ford Bronco with a manual transmission. And I thought, I'll show them how mad I am. I'll do a burnout when I leave. As I come out of their driveway in reverse, I pulled it back in. It was a NP 435, so it was a granulo. So as I pulled it back in second gear to go forward, I was still rolling backwards and I dumped the clutch and I broke the rear end in the thing. So there I sat now, not only mad, but embarrassed in the middle of the road with a blowed rear end. And what time then I got out and just locked the front hubs in and, crawled away in front wheel drive. But it happens. Don't worry about it, man. You want to join us, Dakota? You're welcome. We got a link up there. If you wanted to join us, just let us know. So, Tommy, what do you think about going down the drag strip?
It was definitely an interesting experience.
And it was a little scary, I know, because we was trying to keep it. Well, we was trying to keep it on the down low because I didn't want anybody to say you couldn't run, and I promised you was going to get to run. So by that time, that's why we didn't do good in the bracket race because I let Tommy go out and run first round of the bracket because we ran out of time tinkering in the morning to go out and do the time trials for the bracket race. So first round of bracket, I just let Tommy take the car. Now, like I said, he's not used to how the two-step works in the car. He's not used to how tight the converter is in the car. So, unfortunately, when he brought it into the beams and put the car on the two-step, it pushed forward and red lighted. But he still got to make a pass, and he still, even though it was an 11-second pass, he still went 80 miles an hour. So, it is what it is. So we're going to take him up to the local track here on the weekends and let him do some bracket racing, just in like daily drivers, stock type cars, like the police car, the Monte Carlo SS. We'll take him in that stuff until he gets a little more used to it. It was amazing meeting everybody. I mean, we already felt like we knew everybody from the screen, from watching everybody's videos and everybody's builds. It was amazing to finally just come out and meet these people, though. I can say everybody that we met are just as genuine in real life as they were. We'll see. Yeah, we wanted Hilljack. We wanted to go to the flashlight drags, but we run slicks on the car, and they won't let you run with slicks. This year we had a tough time being able to get a drag radial for the car, and the car on a street tire would just be a eighth mile smoke show. So that's why we didn't hit flashlight drags. We've looked at them. That's about 35 minutes away for the flashlight drags. But like I said, the biggest thing with that is they don't allow slicks. Yeah, you run cheaters. Yeah, we'll see. Pretty much, even when I daily drive the car back and forth to work, I run them Hoosier 2810 5s on it. I mean, they've been on there. Other than the couple times I put just junk tires on the back just to do some burnouts, them 2810 5s have been on there for the last year. And I daily it on those. But Tommy's good, and not only that, too, what hurt Tommy when it come up to make his pass, the O-ring on the top of the power steering box went, and it leaked all the power steering box. So that left him to try to back up, do his burnout with no power steering. Which, for a first-time try, that makes it hard. So, but like I said, we definitely do it again. we want to thank everybody for doing it. We're glad to meet everybody. We want to thank Amanda for being patient with us and letting us do it. So,
About that.
yeah, well, like I said, she did though good enough to let us do it. So we're happy with that. I want to thank Dwayne and Kayla for letting us use their truck to get out because there's not too many people that you can call. There's not too many people that you can call up on the telephone, like literally 2 days before the event, and just say, "Hey, man, can I borrow your truck?" Which is like he has two vehicles, so he has his truck and he has his car. So like, and he uses his truck for work. So if anything would have happened to his truck, it would have hurt his work. So that being said, they were still good enough and kind enough and my good enough friends that they said okay and they trusted me to take his truck on this trip. So I want to thank them. We would have never made it there without him. And he's like, they're my family. I don't care. They've been friends long enough. I've known Dwayne since he was like 14. And, yeah, we may not be related, but they're definitely family and we love them and we're glad that they are there for us. And we try to be there for them, anything we can do. The car made it through. It didn't break. That's always good. I really, I was concerned going into the No Name Nationals. I was really worried about the burnout contest. I know we ran the car. I've driven the car down the track, many a passes. I probably made at least, I don't know, probably at least 30 or 40 passes on that combination so far that it's together. And, the quarter-mile passes I would make in it, it would usually end up breaking a piston until we fixed that problem. So, but then we waited all summer. We didn't take it racing any. Where's she leaving? One? Huh? Well, why is she crying like that? Oh, she don't have to be in a cage. She just can't hit the thing. Yeah, the crab walk cutlass. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing with the burnout contest. Like I said, we was afraid we was. I was afraid if it was gonna break, that's where it was gonna break. But at the same time, we kind of screwed the burnout contest up because it's geared too low now. Now that car, when it had 273 gears in it, it was an animal. I mean, because it would get wheel speed, you would get lots of smoke. The problem it has now with them 373 gears in it, I was trying to shift, and then that arena there, and the car comes up on boost so fast, you got to pedal it. And every time I would pedal it, it would shift back down to the lower gears. If I could have got the car in drive and actually put the power down to where I could got wheel speed out, I could have done a better burnout. But I mean, I've watched the video. I've seen several that people's posted and our video that we had up. I mean, it's good enough. I guess the car wasn't built to be a burnout car. It's built as just a toy to play with on the street that runs decent at the racetrack. So, but I'm happy with the way it ran and nothing broke. Then my fear was them unloaded revs in the engine when you don't have any load on it, like when you're doing a burnout. If you're gonna mess a rod up or anything, yeah, it was good. But like I said, the racing was better, so we're fine with that. We did good. We're proud of it. It was at 255 degrees when we pulled it out of the arena the other night. It was pretty hot, but I didn't shut it down. I just let it idle. Within 8 to 10 minutes, it was back down to 190, and the turbo quit glowing. I mean, the entire hot side was glowing. Both exhaust manifolds, the crossover tube, and the entire hot side of the turbo was cherry red. You could see it through the exhaust wrap. So it was definitely a little bit warm because we was working a little hard. And then, because I knew there was some heavy hitters in that 28-10-5 class, not only was we running, I had the boost controller set at like 18 psi, but I was also spraying it with a 50 shot of nitrous out of the hole to help that converter since it's a little tight. So, I mean, it put down some decent stuff. I mean, a mile an hour always seems to be a little bit higher than what the ET actually was, but that's a turbo car thing. So, I think our best mile an hour of the weekend was like 104 and some change. And finally, it took us a while to get used to it because the car at our local track at Keystone, the car consistently 60 foots at like 1.5. And without the nitrous, we couldn't get it 60 foot there. It was more like, I think the first pass was 1.7. And then the next couple passes was like a 1.6 60 foot. And then when I started throwing the 50 shot to it, that's when we got down to the 1.5 60 foots, which that's what the car normally runs without any nitrous. What's up, Tommy? You gonna speak or what? Tell me your experience.
I don't know what to say.
Just tell me your
We
experience.
recorded everything.
I know. No, it's just a cheap $290 journal bearing turbo, but that's another one reason why I didn't want to shut it down because I didn't want to coat the oil. But we do run full synthetic oil in it too, so that helps a little bit with the heat. But I was afraid to shut it down for that reason. I didn't want it to burn the oil in the turbo, and as long as I kept it idling, it cooled the turbo down a little bit faster. Now, if it would have been overheating, if it would have lost its coolant, yeah, I would have shut it down. But when I seen it was hot, as soon as I pulled it out, the first thing I done was pop the hood and make sure that it still had coolant in it, which it did. So at that point, it was like, okay, just let it run with the fans on and let it cool down. So we didn't hurt it. But tell me about it, Tommy. Okay, what did you think? What do you think about the road trip to get there? Was that it was long?
On the way over, we didn't really see too much.
Well, I thought we saw more on the way down than we did on the way back. The way back it was nighttime.
On the way back, we got to see the yard sale, and we drove past Indianapolis International Airport, and we got to see.
We got to drive at night. That was the only
Yeah.
See,
I mean, on the way over, we just drove to Kentucky most of the way.
yeah. Well, Kentucky is a nice state. It
It's
takes
just
a while to get there. Yeah,
It's kind of like Kansas and Nebraska. It's just.
Well, I think there's more in Kentucky here in Kansas and Nebraska, but no, we had a good time. The trip was good. You know, it was a good road trip. It was a father son thing. So when you go a father son road trip's never a bad thing. When you know the guys can just get together and hang out. You know, you never have a bad day doing that. What do they always say? You know, the worst day at the racetrack's always better than the best day at work. So we can't complain. And if we did complain, nobody would listen anyway, so it wouldn't matter. So we're good with that. Right, Tommy? But let's see, we're up here. The bridges are crazy. What we coming? Was it 62?
Yeah.
The two bridges on 62, man, that was some narrow stuff, man. Especially crossing the Mississippi in that little bridge. That thing was janky and yeah, clanging. But we had to leave. We wanted to originally. We would have loved to have been able to stay Sunday or Saturday night and left Sunday morning and drive in the daylight, plus with some sleep because we had to go with no sleep. I mean, I was up at 7 a.m. Saturday morning for the No Name Nationals. I got up, walked around, and that got ready for the day, and then we, did activities all day, hung out. Yeah, I did see that all-wheel drive G body. I think he's using like this, basically the front suspension of a G body and a S10 has a lot in common. So I believe that's how they set that up. Yeah, that's a pretty wicked thing. But yeah, we was up at 7 a.m. on Saturday. We participated through the day and ran around. We had to rush down the miner to get fuel between the first and second round of the 28-10-5 shootout because we was low on fuel. We got back in time to line up. Well, no, it was the first round. It was between the time trial and the first round of 28-10-5. So we rushed back in, filled the tank up when we went up. And that's when the Nelson said that they were out of it because the Dodson, something was wrong with it. And instead of, redrawing or anything, we just took his spot. And that paired us up against Torque Racing Production and that awesome fourth generation Camaro they have, which is a very nice car. It runs good. Well, we ran that first round, We got by first round. Second round, we ended up drawing Redbeard Racing's against him, and I mean, what can you say with a car like that? 540-inch aluminum big block Mopar and actual race car. We didn't have much chance with that. So, I mean, the only way we could have won any of that is it would have had to, he would either had to break or something go wrong, and we wouldn't want that. So, we just took our lumps and dealt with it. It happens. We're fine with it, though. We have no issue with it. We wish we could have made it further because it seems like when it comes to that round, if we would have drew a different chip of the other cars that were remaining, we might have made another round. I don't know. Those cars are pretty fast too. Like Jerry Racing, his car's quick, and that Barracuda was pretty quick. So, but I feel like we would have had a better chance against those cars because those were more street-oriented cars. But it is what it is. You know, it's racing, and anything can happen. We was in the groove for a little while, felt good. We was psyched up, and everything was going smooth. Then that oil down happened because Big Block 402 unfortunately windowed his block, which oiled down the bottom half of the right lane. So that caused us to wait for track cleanup. While we was waiting on that, you know, I was talking with the guys at Redbeard Racing, and they asked if we would switch lanes because his car, you know, on a good day, his car is a lot faster than ours. So he asked if we would switch lanes if that lane seemed a little sketchy, which we did because once again, my car's a street car and it was only trapping, you know, 103, 104 miles an hour all weekend. So we felt that we could safely get down that lane, even if there was a little bit of gunk down towards the end. So we switched lanes with him and proceeded to get our butts whipped. But that's fine. He went on to win, so no harm in that. And we made a great friend with him.
In the pro mod too.
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah, because we ran down. No sooner did he come after. He raced third round, and pretty much as soon as he pulled in and started to take the hood off and put the battery charger on the car, and they called him back up for the finals. And I'm like, man, how you gonna get a car like that turned around that quick? So we jumped in and we tried to help the best we could to get him back and ready to go and get him lined up. And we made good friends. The guys at Street Car Chronicles, they're awesome. Everybody was awesome. We had Russell from Outfits Garage, Mopar Den, Dizzy Izzy, Mopar's Mustangs and minivans. Oh, there's just so many we can't even mention them all. But man, it was great. Shout out to our buddy Junk Car Willie. He was camped out beside us in the pit. Turns out he's from West Virginia, so he's going to come up. We're going to do a collaboration here once everything gets straightened out. I know where there's some old junkyards at, but he's going to come up and hang out. We're going to check those out and probably help his boy with it, build a 350 turbo because I guess they got a square body Chevy that he's wanting the LS swap. So I told him I could help him out with a transmission, putting one together for him. So we're going to do some collabs with them, get everything worked out. How would you rate that, though, Tommy? I mean, do you like the format of the way the Name Ain't Nationals we ran?
I think it could have ran it better because it was a YouTube event and they were playing copyrighted music during a YouTube event, and they were running the cars a little fast too. They acted like they were in a rush.
We got behind. They got behind a little bit. You know what I mean? And they wanted to get us. They wanted to have the awards quick at the end of the day, and they got behind. So they kind of rushed it. It was the first year. I mean, you're going to have hiccups and that in the first year doing any event. I mean, it was a success. There was a lot of people there. I mean, we have our typical haters online that are always haters, you know, and I think they're just mad because they didn't participate, saying that it was boring. Like I had some people complaining about a live feed that I had up that I turned the phone on and just set or turned the camera on, set it up as a live feed and walked away from it. Well, I had the tripod set where you could see the finish line. You could hear the announcer because the phone was right under a loudspeaker. And quite frankly, we had to get our car ready for prepared to race. So I can't do two things at once. So I figured, hey, I'll turn a live feed on and let it run. If people catch it, they catch it. If they don't, they don't have to watch it. Instead, people watched it and said it was like the lamest thing they ever seen. But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It doesn't hurt our feelings, so whatever. But we did that live feed just in the interest of getting views out or video out for our friends that couldn't make it there, so at least they could see somewhat what was going on. So if people don't like it, they don't like it. Like I said, they can always, turn the video off or click unsubscribe if it bothers them that bad. As to the point Tommy made, now we got one video that was doing well, but YouTube pulled it down, so we're gonna have to go in and fix it. Because if I had one complaint about the whole weekend, like I said, it would be what Tommy said. It was the copyright music. Now I understand that John and Dallas didn't have anything to do with it. That's the track, and most tracks you go to do play music when they're not talking. But I feel being since this was a YouTube event, they should have toned down on the music a little bit to avoid the copyright problems because they causes a lot of copyright issues by having music playing. I mean, at one point they would be racing and Tommy would have to run from our pit over to the phone at the track side to hurry up and mute the microphone so we wouldn't get pulled down for copyright. But I guess we missed one or two because we still got a copyright. Not so much a strike, but they blocked our video until we fix it. Yeah.
It's processing. I went in
okay.
There.
Yeah, that's a lot when it's gonna take a while. Yeah.
And it's processing.
Just mute the audio in the spots where Okay. As for the video we posted earlier about the guy being tased, I mean, please, guys, I know, it's hard not to resist the joke sometimes, but remember, that is somebody's brother, that's somebody's son. From what we seen, he wasn't resisting the cops. What we hear is he had a warrant in another county. He was just simply leaving the courthouse, when the sheriff told him to stop. Apparently, he didn't stop. We didn't hear him yell stop or be tased or anything. I mean, all we heard was the taser go off, and that's when we turned around, and that's when Tommy started recording. But I mean, they said we don't know the whole story on it, so people commenting on it, please try to be a little respectful about it. I mean, the man's in bad shape. He's in the hospital with a fractured skull. So it is what it is, and it doesn't matter who you are, your background, where you are. There's no reason that when a man isn't resisting, it shouldn't take that many people to subdue him. And I don't really see where he needed to be tased because he did come out of the courthouse. You can watch it, Dakota. He did come out of the courthouse. The courthouse has metal detectors when you go in, so obviously the guy wasn't armed. And they shot him in the back with a taser, so he was running away when they got him. So, but what happened? He was about 3 steps above street level. When the taser hit him, he fell down those steps and smacked his head on the sidewalk. And then while he was laying there dazed, probably trying to figure out what's been going on, because I've been knocked unconscious. And when you get knocked unconscious, sometimes it takes a couple minutes to get his buggy out. Yeah. So yeah, when you get tased though like that, sometimes or when you get hit in the head, it'll take you a couple minutes for your brain to reboot, basically like a computer tripping over the cord. But so I imagine he was quite dazed, and if anything, it took him a while to roll over from his stomach, roll over onto his back. Took him a few seconds because he had no idea what was going on from just hitting his head so hard and being tased. And stress in the moment. Yeah, so, but yeah, it looked like a kick to the face, but I don't know. You guys can watch the video and decide itself. So, but yeah, we won't pass judgment on that until we find more. We just hope that the guy does recover.
He said he was on a ventilator for a little bit.
Yeah, he was, but I hear he's breathing now. So I hope he recovers. I mean, because like I said, even if he did have a warrant or something, it wasn't like he was a murderer or anything. So no guy deserves to be dead or permanently maimed. Because everybody makes mistakes sometimes. There's so many laws anymore in this country, it's hard not to break the law. What do you think about what do you think about the burner protest, Tommy? Did you video it? What do you think of it?
I think that it was kind of lame that it only took someone just sitting there for a few minutes, leaving a burning pile of rubber just to win.
Yeah, that was a cool burnout, but I agree. I mean, it was an awesome style burnout. Yeah,
more than just
yeah. There was a lot of other guys that really sent it hard and didn't get recognition on it. So yeah, Tommy can get his buggy out. Tommy right now, I mean, all the way home and all day yesterday, all Tommy could talk about was going and getting his Honda. So that's his big thing he wants to do right now. He wants to go get his Civic so we can get in here and get started on that. Which that'll be mostly, we're going to try to get Tommy. He's going to do most of the working on that. So I'll be filming a lot of that. And the tripod will be filming a lot of that. Because, well, no, I had no idea either. When I got my first car, I had no idea where you're going to take people. When I got my first car, I had no idea. When I got my first car, I knew nothing about it. You know what I mean? I knew a little bit from growing up around it, but I didn't know. I was kind of like you. I knew enough to be dangerous, but not enough to actually do it. So, but we gotta at least cool the motor down and re-gasket it, probably re-ring it. So maybe we could score some decent forged internals for the D16 in it. We're gonna turbo the car eventually. I know it needs a clutch, so we'll probably just go ahead and put like an upgrade, like a stage 2 clutch in it now while it's apart. And just get it where he can run it so he can drive it around and have fun with it. I mean, ultimately, it would be cool if we could bring it to next year's No Name Nationals and have a little 4-cylinder that can at least run with the V8s. If it can't beat them, at least it can post close times to it. Which is possible because we have a good friend in the local shop that builds 8-second Hondas around here, so we know it's doable. Addis's hatch went like, I think its fastest was like 860, like 150 miles an hour or something. Ridiculous. But the only problem with that much power, it would literally make you pass the transmission was killed. So.
It's gonna be a.
Yeah, so we're not gonna go that crazy.
I need like vanity. I don't know what I'd put on it.
Well, maybe take suggestions from
subscribers. Try on a vanity plate, NPA. Yeah, it needs to be a plate pinball board stuff.
We could have, you can figure out a way to write slow and silly instead of like fast and furious and slow and silly. SLW, SLY. Slow and silly. Sleeper.
There can only be 7 characters.
Yeah, I know. Tommy's real buggy though is the Samurai. We got to recover it. It's still like on the stolen list. We know where it's at, but it's still technically stolen. So we got to recover his Samurai so he can get it out. Which technically his Samurai, it's technically street legal, so it could be run on the street. My friend that we built that used to be his daily driver on 33. Somebody used to run that thing everywhere. He worked in Greensburg and he worked in Uniontown. He worked in Greensburg and he drive to Uniontown every day. No doors, no top. Enjoying life. But that should be good with that. Next year we really want to ramp it up. Like I said, we want to bring a car for Tommy next year. That way he can participate too. We need better sleeping accommodations for next year, so hopefully we can find the Cummins that we've been looking for. Hopefully we can get our hands on one and have it ready for next year and get the tires and everything done in the motor so we can bring in our old Mopar 1973 Winnebago D24 Indy. Talk for a minute.
Gonna bring up the chat over here. Take the Winnebago, yeah. Just think how much that would cost, though. If it, as I say, think how much it would cost, though. Even with the diesel. Diesel's expensive.
Probably better mile per gallon with diesel.
How much mile per gallon would it go on diesel, though? I was gonna say it'd be expensive. Even 14 miles to the gallon, because diesel's like $5 a gallon. Think of how much the tanks hold. Probably a lot. Box on wheels. Yeah.
If we take the Winnebago has two 40-gallon tanks. That's the front tank. The front tank in the Winnebago is 40 gallons. The rear tank in the back sport, that's 80. And then the auxiliary tank on the driver's side holds 75 gallons. So that's a lot of gallons. That's 155 gallons.
Yeah. And that costs $5 a gallon.
Yeah, but figure even.
That'd be $775 to fill it up completely full.
We could probably get down and back though without even stopping for fuel.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. We could go round trip from Connellsville to Sykeston and back and fill it up here and drive all the way back and not need fuel.
Yeah.
Well, then where's from?
Still $775.
I mean, you could take the 440 and it gets 10 miles in a gallon. So
yeah, but
it's just it just sucks though because like I said with the 440 and no overdrive, and if we put Cummins in it and a newer overdrive transmission, you'll get a lot better fuel economy.
Yeah. What about towing?
And it'll tow a lot better, yeah. Plus, wouldn't it be cool to just take the Winnebago and just go lay down and take a nap while you're driving? More of us can go too. Then we take the Winnebago, it'd be more than just me and you can go, which would be cool because then someone else can drive and I don't got to stay up for 30 hours.
Well, by next year, I'll have my license, so I'll be able to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the restrictions to be listed.
I need to talk to Ty about driving vehicles that big.
Why that doesn't require a CDL to be.
I know, but like, still,
it's nothing like driving a big rig.
Maybe a triax. It is long.
No, it's only 24 feet long.
Yeah. Plus the trailer.
The pickup truck is that long, or 8-foot bed extended cab Ford is that long. It's as long as the motorhome. Okay, so you got a trailer. Yeah, it's a box on wheels. I like to refer to it as a shed on wheels because it's more like a shed. But yeah, I feel you, man. It's definitely fun though. We have a good time with it. I'm gonna throw another link in here. Drop by. Copy, copy. Copy, copy. 10-4, copy. Breaker, breaker. Post a comment. It help I would put my hand over the camera with it. Thanks. I mean, I do have someone here who's computer literate, but then you let me do it, but it's all good. It's copy and pasting the link on StreamYard. If somebody wants to jump in, they can click that link and they can join this split screen. They can come in on our live. Like you can click on that and then use your phone camera, and instead of that sitting side by side, it'd be upstairs in your computer. Yeah. I see StreamYard now too has a green screen.
Probably better than
They have several backgrounds though. It's the new thing they can look at. That way, since it's cold here, we can do a video where it looks like we're sitting in a tropical place. Yeah, but we're not. But it's all fun. He said we had fun. Yeah, and Samurai said Samurais are bringing big money. Yeah, this one's already done. I mean, Tommy's, it's a Florida body tub that we put together years ago, so it hasn't been in any road salt. It's a 91, so it was a factory EFI Samurai. We took the 1.3 out though, and we put a 1.6 in it out of a Suzuki Sidekick for a little bit more power because the factory 1.3 is like 60 horsepower, and now 8 valve 1.6 is like 85 horsepower. So it's like a big difference when you're dealing with little numbers. Then it has 512 gears in the axles, and it has a trail gear 416-1 transfer case. So low range is 416-1, plus the Samurai has a high range reduction in high gear. That's with the aftermarket gear set, it's 158-1. So we could do that. What's up, Dakota? Yeah, it was a Samurai. That was a 10-top Samurai at Dakota. They put a 440 in. Yep. Yeah, that was a 10-top, a hard top when they done. That was pretty cool, but it'd been cooler if they would have done it and kept it 4-wheel drive. But the problem is that engine they put in there literally weighs half as much as what a Samurai weighs with its factory engine. The Samurai only weighs like 2,200 pounds. Well, one thing, Hilljack, right now we don't have it. Right now, it's the state of Pennsylvania considers it stolen because we're waiting on the case to proceed through so we can get it back. We know where it's at. We know the people that has it, but we're waiting on the police to file the charges so we can get it back. We have the title to it, but they took it from our old house and moved it somewhere else. We know where it's at, but we got to wait on the police to give us the go ahead so we can recover it. We already had to go get our motorhome and recover it and recover. Hillary has a 91 Pathfinder on 35s. The cheap 4 wheels, her buggy. But it's complicated, but we gotta wait. We'll have it back though, but I don't think he wants to sell it. I think he's owned the thing, I think he was about 4 or 5 years old when his grandmother gave it to him, told him he could have it when he was old enough to drive it. So he's owned it a while. I don't think he wants to sell it. So I don't know. Would you guys be interested in some videos of some 4-wheeling? I mean, we got some good rocks around here. It's East Coast rock crawling, so everything's covered with mud, slime, and sludge. But
Of course.
we got some giant rocks, some boulder fields, and we got some mud holes down here that literally can swallow trucks on 44s.
What about snow? Going in the snow? Like,
Got a tracker. That's awesome, man. I got a lot of experience with trackers, man. I can hook you up and make that a bad machine.
You know what I mean?
What's that?
Like in the snow too.
Yeah. My
Going to the cabin.
yeah, my 4-door tracker that we have, that green one in our older videos, that has Toyota axles underneath it. They're out of an '85 straight axle Toyota. You know, aftermarket axle shafts. It has a Samurai 416-1 case in it. It's 104-inch wheelbase we got it stretched to. Yeah, take him to the falls. Yeah, he's been to the falls. I had Tommy at the falls when he was 5 days old. I had him down there in a tracker. So he's used to that stuff. He grew up around. As I said, that's the problem with Tommy. He's used to this stuff because he grew up around it. It's normal. So you don't see the excitement in it that other kids do. Right, Tommy? Right.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, that's mostly it. We're probably gonna take the Cutlass and park it for the winter because I really don't want to go another winter. I got no heat in that car, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, the older I get, the harder the cold is to deal with. So
I like cold.
I'm probably gonna park. Yeah, but when your windows are freezing up on the inside, it's not fun. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna park the Cutlass for the year. I mean, I'm not gonna tear it down right away. That way, if we want to take it to the track, because as long as the weather permits, our track will stay open until like November. So we'll be good with that. So maybe take it out a couple more times. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take Tommy bracket races. So you guys can catch that. I'll definitely video it when we go. Let's see what else. We're probably gonna put the Monte Carlo SS, the one that we was gonna throw nitrous on. We're probably gonna beat it around through the winter, just to have a spare car. That, or I can run Tommy's Honda. I can run it into the ground. Yeah, Dakota. I don't know though, Dakota, where you're at. AC is pretty important too.
Civic's cold.
Yeah, the Civic does run, but it's gonna need the clutch. Clutch is slipping.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the
We'll just get a trailer and go get it. We'll just trailer the car to Missouri and back. I think we can get one from White back. Yeah. These kids, let me tell you, today's kids want instant gratification. They want to wait on anything, but it's all good. They could be a lot worse. We just don't see how. Hey, Frankenstein C20, what's happening, brother? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, we're just going over some stuff. Let's talk about how awesome it was meeting everybody, how much fun we had, talking about some upcoming things we're doing. And that's about it, really. You know what tomorrow is, that time? Yep. Tomorrow's a holiday. I think. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't get the message.
national holiday now.
It should be a national holiday. I'm so good. No, I'm just kidding.
But it is a holiday.
It probably is somewhere. There's probably some kind of day. Yeah, Dakota, it gets hot. You can roll your windows down. Yeah,
it's World Teachers Day.
Where you live at, though, Dakota, you know, your idea of cold and my idea of cold's probably pretty far apart.
It's also Yom Kippur tomorrow.
You know, well, it is a holiday. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, my idea of cold is when we get those days at the end of January and February where it literally doesn't get out of the teens or single digits for 2, 3 weeks. That's my idea of cold. Your idea of cold's like 50 degrees, probably got to put a hoodie on.
There's people here that
Yeah, well, Dakota's down south, though.
Yeah, the people up here don't put hoodies on.
You're in Georgia, ain't you, Dakota? Alright, so when I was about probably 14, back in like the end of 89 into 90, I stayed down in Douglasville for a few months. It's a nice area down there, but it's been so long since I've been there. Yeah, Trenton, Georgia. I thought so. Yeah, see, so your idea of cold, my idea of cold, probably pretty far apart, but I agree with you, man. I can't wait to see some more video on that Pontiac, man. I think it's awesome. You got to bring it to No Name next year so he can gap some fools with it, man. I wish you could have made it this year, man. We wanted to meet you, but we understand. It's cool, though. There was a few people that couldn't make it this year, and with everything going on, we understand. It just sucks because we would have liked to meet a lot more people, and there's a couple people that we didn't end up running into and meeting there because there was just so many people to try to meet, deal with. But rest assured, the second annual No Name Nationals happen, we're going to do everything we can to be there. But like I said, next time we'll have more people though, so it won't be just me and Tommy struggling to do everything. But it'll be fun. Anything else, Tommy, you can think of real quick? What was our final tally though? So we got up Saturday morning at 7.
I got up around 9:30.
We left the racetrack, or we left Jumpers right as it was getting dark. It was daylight, but it was almost dark as we rolled out.
Yeah,
it was what, about 7 o'clock?
6:40 p.m.
Yeah,
The
Sunday.
next day. Yeah.
Man, we was so tired coming through West Virginia or through Ohio, man. We was stopping like every 20 minutes. I was running in a rest area and running water on my face. Yeah, square body stuff. No, there wasn't enough time, definitely. That's the only thing that sucks is when you're at an event like that, everybody's so focused on getting their car running. You know, you got a little bit of time at night, but there's just so many people because you want to hang out with everybody. Everybody is so cool. We all know it. Like I said, we might not all personally go and hang out with each other, but we all know each other because we've watched everybody's videos for the last 9 months. So, I mean, it's like, I feel like we've made friends with just about everybody that was competing. And then everybody that was watching, we made friends with. So, yeah, it sucks to say that we left and we didn't get to meet some people because we really would have liked to meet everybody. We'd have liked to be able to take some time to hang out with everybody. Originally, that was going to be our plan, was to be able to hang out Saturday night after the award ceremony, you know, because that's when they said, John said everybody was going to cook out and everything. That would have been tonight, but said we had to be home by noon the next day, so we had to roll. Hey, Hippie, what's going on, brother? Thanks for popping in, man. There you go. Did the Cutlass work all right for you? I know you're always excited to see the Cutlass put in work. I hope it was good enough for you. It even come back unbroken, so you can't beat that. A little less rubber on the tires, a little more heat cycle through everything, but other than that one piece, it's a mess. I told me I went out today to move it. It opened up the door and I had to move something just to sit down. In the Cutlass.
Oh yeah, you threw everything.
Because we threw everything in the Cutlass to get out of there. Yeah, we had to go. We was packing up at Sykeston, literally.
Also, something to say. Someone told us on the Triton V10s on the F250s, if you have a Triton V10 one, you're supposed to put premium. Was it plus or premium? It was one of the higher octane gases you're supposed to put into it. I don't know if it was the plus or the premium.
I don't think Jezebel was working right, hippie. Jezebel is a bad machine.
Might need to Google it online.
I mean, I hope we represent it. Like I said, you got to remember too. That car ain't a race car. That's my daily. That's my only registered vehicle right now. Anybody on there that knows, that lives around here, that knows me, they know I drive that Cutlass every day. I drive it rain or shine. In the winter time, I do take the slicks off, and I got a set of just winter tires I put on the back. That way, if it snows, I don't get unlived. But I do drive it everywhere. It's 100% true street car, full interior. The only thing I did to race it that day was for the 28-10-5 shootout, is I did take the exhaust, unbolted it from the cutout, and just left it open all the time.
Someone says when driving around the Triton V10 F250 normally, you can use 87 regular.
Yeah.
But if you're towing, they recommend you use a minimum of 89 or 92.
That makes sense. Probably why it seemed like it pinged sometimes.
Maybe we're supposed to use 89.
Yeah, well,
that's
yeah, that's why I said. And see, the thing is, like I said, if we diesel swap the Winnebago, I mean, what if it accidentally had a little bit of on-road fuel?
Yeah.
Accidentally, of course.
We never do that.
Oh, believe me, Hill Jack, we'd like to use a Dodge to tow, but I mean, around here, you got to sell off your firstborn to buy one that's rusty. I agree. I mean, my old 95 Ford, though, my old F-250 with the 460 in there, it's done me pretty well. The only reason we didn't take it is I haven't ran it all year because the body's pretty rough on it. I'm looking for a decent bed for it. If the bed's completely shot, all the cross members are rotted out, and the bed sides are hosed from road salt, but all the hoses on the truck. The truck has like 289,000 miles on it. It still has the original radiator hoses on it, the original heater hoses, and it needs ball joints replaced in the front. So I didn't want to chance it driving it that far. So that's why we borrowed Dwayne's truck, because we really didn't have it in the budget this year to put the money into our Ford to get it ready to go. But that Ford with the 460, it tows good. But we would like to have us a Cummins diesel, but I just want that Cummins motor and square body Chevy is what I want. One day I will have it. I will have me a 4-wheel drive, 3 cab, 8-foot bed, dually, square body, with a Cummins and a manual.
I was looking up the 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 heavy duty.
Yeah.
With all the bells and whistles, the high country version with all of the safety features and a diesel.
Yeah.
Engine block heater and a high idle switch. And
yeah, I know all that.
Wheel, gooseneck, and all that fun stuff, and it costs like $93,000.
I understand that, but the thing is, we don't want an emissions diesel. If we get a diesel, we got to get something that's older that's on emissions.
So we can roll coal on people?
No, we don't do it roll coal, so we ain't got to deal with DPF spilling up, and we ain't got to dump stupid diesel exhaust fluid.
Aren't you supposed to like change the oil every?
A diesel can go longer.
I was gonna say every 50,000 miles, change the oil.
Not every 50,000. Probably around every 15,000, I think it is 10 to 15,000.
And every 75,000 miles, you need to change the transmission to it.
No, not.
filter on
Plastic turd. Yeah, I agree. We want an old school truck and just like I said, put a little bit newer driveline in it. Would be the ticket. If we can't get that, then I'm just gonna fix up the old '95 Bird. It's been a good truck, so what I need to do later on is we gotta get it and have some time to get out south and just find us a new body for that truck. Because in my opinion, I mean, yeah, that the F-250 we brought the no name Nationals, the '99 F-250 at Dwayne's that we borrowed with the V10 in. The truck pulled great. It didn't do bad. We averaged about 12 miles per gallon for fuel. But I just like the older trucks better. Always
it. Do you
did.
think we would have got better mileage if we used sponsor
No,
Super?
no. The grade of gas doesn't affect gas mileage. All it is
What
is
kind of
burning
car would you
vehicle.
want to run higher grade in?
Something with higher compression or something boosted or supercharged. You know what I mean?
So like,
Something where your cylinder pressures are high.
if we put a supercharger on my grandmother's car, we might want to run plus instead of regular.
If we put a supercharger on your grandmother's car, we're gonna set it up 385. Yeah, they're not because E85 is a lot cheaper. E85, acts like 112 octane. That's why you run E85. But
Well, a lot of newer cars can just run E85 anyway. You can put
I mean, they're flex fuel cars. Now, see, even like if you're running the GM, the LS stuff, you can put a flex fuel sensor on it. I'm sure you probably can with the
Maybe my sister's parking on flex fuel.
if it's marked for it, they'll have a badge on it that says flex fuel if it's set up for it. I mean, I'm sure you can run it in it because what's it say? Don't use it in anything older than 2008. What it says on the comp, but because of the compatibility issues. But it's not really that. The only issue with E85 is the moisture that builds up in the system.
The 2017 Buick Encore is not flex fuel appropriate.
No, Dakota, it doesn't. And apples to apples, E85 doesn't make as much power. If you just have a stock, normal compression motor or a low compression motor, gasoline to E85, you're not going to notice anything. The only thing you're probably really going to notice is a slight drop in fuel economy, but you're not going to notice any power gains. The power gains don't happen until you either up the heat in the engine or you up the cylinder pressure, something like that. Is what is it? E85 has like 1/3 less BTU than a gallon of gasoline. So
I just read online. Buick recommends you do not put anything that has more than 15% ethanol.
you can run E15.
Yeah, you can run
E88.
E15. You can run E15 in the Buick Encore, not E85.
Yeah, it makes sense. So she's already having turbo issues, so I don't think she wants to do that.
What if I hear a knocking noise from the engine after refill?
No, the knocking noise they're talking about is something different than what you're
Low
hearing.
quality fuel with a lower octane rating.
Yeah. You'll see here shortly. We're gonna start learning this stuff. We're gonna get this.
The first generation Buick Encore 1319 has capacity 53 liters or 14 gallons. The second generation having a capacity of 14 gallons.
Yeah. I guess then, no, guys, been real. We're gonna have to wrap this live up here. Amanda's car's still in the shop, so I gotta go pick her up from work. I just wanted to pop in, basically, just to say thanks, and it was good meeting everybody. We can't wait to do it again. We feel like we've made a lot of friends. This community is so great. It's been so good to us, and we can't wait to help it grow. We're glad to be part of it. We're glad that we was there. It's something, that I'm sure me or Tommy will never forget in our lifetime. So thanks everybody. Thanks for watching our videos. I know sometimes they can be a little lame, but thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with us. Dakota, you the man, brother. We're glad, that you pop in.
Also, hopefully our video of the arrest doesn't get
LP94, what's up, buddy? Yeah, it was an awesome time, man.
Right?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, definitely, Dakota. I want you to get on here with us one night. Seriously, we're gonna get you on here and we're gonna have some fun.
Right?
We do it on what's our other night? We do Sunday at 7 o'clock. We're gonna try to start doing too. So we're gonna try to do Tuesdays at 7 and Sunday. Uncle Tony doesn't go until 8. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a good one too, Dakota. LP94. Thanks for popping in. Hill Jack, Hippie Miller. Everyone else, Frankenstein C20, Square Body, everybody, man, thanks. We appreciate the support, and we will catch you guys later. Good night, everybody.